Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Law Society online discussion with our program Meet Our Tutors. And today, if God wills, we shall be having Commissioner Rashid Dumbuya, who shall be taking us through his life journey. And I know we are all ready to get inspired this evening. Commissioner Rashid Dumbuya, you are highly welcome to the Law Society online program, Meet Our Tutors.
Thanks for having me, Sir President for Law Society, and your team. I'm extremely grateful and honored to be here today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rashid. I must confess, you have been a mentor ever since I started reading law. I remember the first day I was introduced to you by the Law Society. It was the introduction to law module, and I must tell you how proud I was when I arrived at Botswana, and the first Sierra Leonean they could ask me for is Commissioner Rashid Dumbuya. How is Rashid doing? So I must confess I am very delighted to have you here with us this evening. And let me start by taking this opportunity to express our sincerest gratitude to you on behalf of the Law Society for your service to the Law Department over the years. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, I'm grateful. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an honor, and I'm humbled to be privileged to serve.
Thank you.
That's exactly what we exist for. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Commissioner, let us start the ball rolling. So, who is Commissioner Rashid Dumbuya? Who is Rashid Dumbuya? If I may ask that question.
Okay. Yes, it's quite a very simple but difficult question. But let me try. Well, Rashid is I'm a human rights lawyer, so I'm a legal practitioner in the Republic of Sierra Leone, a member of the Sierra Leone Bar Association. Also, I'm an international human rights lawyer, one that is accredited internationally. I am also, of course, a public defender, and then I lecture at the University of Sierra Leone as an associate lecturer in the Department of Law, Fourah Bay College, and I have been lucky to obtain a few degrees, and a few master's degrees as well. I'm in human rights and in oil and gas to energy law from the University of Dundee, Scotland, United Kingdom. And I obtained my master's in human rights law from the University of Pretoria, Center for Human Rights, South Africa. And then I am currently also associate fellow, and that was conferred on me by the dean of the Faculty of Law, Kabarak, the School of Law, Republic of Kenya. The dean heads the Center for Jurisprudence and Constitutional Studies. So I am also a fellow. Okay. I have worked all my life in terms of advancing the interests of humanity in the area of human rights. and I have been in the practicing field as a lawyer for about 10 years now. And I love human rights so much. I have passion for human rights because I believe that's the surest way to making a nation prosperous when we have a consciousness to respect fundamental rights. Like the UDHR clearly says, we are all equal in dignity and in the right to life. So nobody should be deprived of his or her right to dignity or his or her right to life. The right to life is a meta right. Without that right, no other right will exist.
Okay.
So I've always been someone who likes advocating for others, standing up against injustice, and making sure we have a fairer and a much more unique and progressive world. In
That,
Sierra Leone, of course, there are challenges, but I'm sure the human rights discussion is growing and the jurisprudence also is growing. So we look forward to a time when our nation will be much more conscious of standing up against injustice and violators of human rights.
im-
So I've had several experiences, worked with international institutions like the UN, the Equal Opportunities Commission in Mauritius. I've also been privileged to serve at the Special Court of Sierra Leone. Then, of course, recently in 2017, I was appointed as Human Rights Commissioner in the Human Rights Commission of Sierra Leone. I've also served as State Prosecutor at the Anti-Corruption Commission. And then, of course, I have traveled a lot in terms of research. I remember I was sent to Botswana to do a research on the rights to health of children living with HIV/AIDS. It's a 2 weeks research. The whole Botswana, I toured the country in 2 weeks, get my information and come back.
wow.
I was also selected to participate in a research at the Global Campus in Italy, Venice, to represent Africa, to talk about the right to health and the SDGs. And of course, I also, in my university in Dundee, I was sent to do a lot of research in the US on energy law and also the environmental impacts, of climate change and all of that. So, in brief, I came back in 2015 after completing my second master's. Then I thought it fit to serve a little and then stay on with the university because to me, it's time to give back. God privileged me through the government with a few scholarships. So I owe it to the nation of Sierra Leone to come back and give, a little of what I've been blessed with. So that's why I still I'm hanging there in the university, even though it's a tough, tough job to see. It's my fifth year now, fifth to sixth year now, serving in university. And I think I like it there because in every year we try to bring out the best of peoples that will come to the legal profession and make the change that we all desire. And one student at a time, we believe we can change the world.
Impressive, impressive,
Yes.
wonderful.
In brief.
I've already been inspired. I don't think we need to take the interview further than this. But however, we want to know more about you. So, like you rightly stated, you've traveled a lot from your submissions you've just made. Uh, One thing I've always happy about you is that you are a very open person. When we met you in year one, I quite remember you introduced us to a new way of learning, and that tells the innovation we saw in you. I mean, that tells me that you really have an experience, and if the chance is given, if the opportunity is given, if we are granted the opportunity, I think we'll change a whole lot in this country. Hello. Hello, Commissioner. Hopefully we haven't lost Commissioner. Hello. Hi viewers, we'll try again to connect with Commissioner Rashid Dumbuya. I think we've lost him. Hello, Commissioner Rashid. Uh, Okay, we will try back to get Commissioner Rashid Dumbuya. So continue to stay with us. Today we are looking at the life of Commissioner Rashid Dumbuya, a lecturer, and as you've all heard from him, a fellow from different learning institution. So we are trying to connect him back. He has left us. We will try to get him as soon as possible. So keep staying with us. This is the Law Society. You are all highly welcome. So the Law Society weekly session with our lecturers. We are looking for ways in which we can get inspired by their story and by their journey through life. So let me try again to connect Commissioner Rashid Dumbuya. I don't know what's wrong with it. The internet in this country is crazy. It's crazy. But let me try to connect with him. Kindly stay with us. Don't go. He has a beautiful story. Of course, we've already started enjoying, I believe. Commissioner Rashid Dumbuya. So many contracts here. Okay, let me try to get him. Okay, he's back. Okay, Commissioner is back. Commissioner is back. He's back. He's joining us. That's Sierra Leone, you know. Welcome again, Commissioner. Hello, Commissioner. Can you hear me? Okay. Hello, Commissioner. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, we have to understand this is the
This is the country we are. No, the internet.
yes,
I was talking about innovation. Then this happens. You know,
yes,
it's ironical.
these are challenges of online education.
I am
Yeah,
telling you,
yeah.
I'm telling you. But we'll get through it. You know, it's a big, it's a
Yes,
start.
yes.
You know, we'll get through it. So as I was saying, we've been inspired by your earlier submission. Now I want us to go back. You know, to your early days.
Yes.
Where you hail from. You know, take us through
Yes.
your early life, your primary school briefly, and
Okay.
then your
Good.
secondary school. Yes.
Yes. Good. So I was born in an extended family, a family of I think 14 in number, inclusive of my parents. So I came from a very extended family. My father had 2 wives and 10 children. So we were literally an albatross on the neck of our parents, and it got to a point where my father could not afford it anymore to pay our fees. So when we got to Form 3, myself and my stepbrother, we were competing, and it was too much. So you can't imagine, I dropped out of school. I
Wow.
actually dropped out of school for 2 years. And then so later on, my uncle heard about this. He was living in town, so I was at Wellington. That's where I was born, in PCMH, but Wellington area. And then of course, my uncle brought me to the western part of it, and that's how I eventually got to grammar school. I started to Rebecca and then passed for grammar school. Because I was going to a private school then at Wellington, one commercial secondary school, and then that was the beginning of everything.
Okay. So
I'm sure grammar school was a school I really wanted to go. And so when the opportunity came, I was so happy. I passed for the school excellently, and I was taken. That's how I did myself, a good job, because I wanted to go to my school. And eventually, when I was there, I made sure I put all my best. It was tough. Remember, I came from a very humble background. My father could not afford it anymore. I know about it. So I had to study as if there is no God. And I am the architect of my future, and I have to really put in my best. And then, of course, my mother also, they are elite kids. In fact, they did not go to school. My mother, my father, they never, attend any formal education. So, could you imagine? But one thing I'm grateful for them for, they did their best. I remember my mother even went to the bush when it was tough to cut firewood to sell, to make sure at least my fees are paid. At some point, I remember when I was taking the WAS, there was no money. She had to sell. some of our jewelries just to make sure my fees are paid. So that is the where I'm coming from. It's like I am currently writing a book. I have titled "Out of the Ashes We Rise." So it's not like the Rashid we are seeing today was the Rashid, back then. No, I came from a humble beginning, a humble background, and it was all about God and hard work that saw me where I am today. So this is a story. It is not a story of somebody who woke up, who was born with a silver spoon. No, it's all about God and hard work. So God, in a sense, you try to make sure you live a life that pleases God in your own way, and make sure you put God first in all you do. And then, of course, you put all your best. So hard work is key. Even God Himself said so, that faith without works is dead. So
Okay.
even as you pray to me, make sure you do your work as well. So hard work is key. And I'm talking to every student out there today that you can do better than me. I have in my hands now about 20 postgraduate certificates, apart from my four degrees. I mean, two undergraduate and two masters. And I'm thinking of doing my PhD very soon. I'm currently working on my proposal. I'm sure very soon I'll send it out and then try to pursue my PhD. So that is the story. It's
Okay.
not a beautiful story per se. You've seen and heard from me on my background, but because of perseverance and then having God at the center of everything, you see how it happened. So I got scholarship when I started the last exam. I had the best. I was among the best. 5 results in the country. Then I came third. So I got my combination for law. But what I did was I was afraid because nobody was there to sponsor me. So I had to apply for the Faculty of Arts. I went to arts, and then thankfully looking back, I think I didn't get it
So
because maybe
I'd wanted to go there.
yes,
I'd wanted to go there.
yes,
That is a very special thing to us, especially Farabites. We want you to
yes,
take us through your journey at Fourah Bay College thoroughly, because we know
yes, yes,
it's a place, it's very
I
critical.
know.
Everybody has something to say
Yes,
about
yes.
Fourah Bay
Mm-hmm.
College. So
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 Fourah Bay College, I must confess my journey there was great because, and I'll tell you why. First, we are lucky to reside on campus, and I quickly associated with a group which I'm so proud of and so grateful of, Bible Study Union. They were a family. They helped me greatly. So at some point, I had to, go when I didn't get a room. So I stayed with my, board brethren, and they were very helpful. And then we had a fund. They call it the need fund. So when we are hungry, you are down, you don't have money on you, you come to the need fund, and they will give you some money, basically, so that you can get some food. So that was how some of us we are surviving. Remember, I told you where I'm coming from. My father could not pay my fees, my mother could not pay my fees. So I was depending on help from my uncle. And then when I came to year one, God helped me. Went to year two, I had got the scholarship. So that's how I sailed through again my 4 years. So I studied political science, English, and then of course history, in my first degree. And so whilst I was completing it, I still believe that this law thing is in me. So I dared it out, and luckily, yeah, at the time we applied for law, it was only 20 of us that we are taking. Today I'm seeing 250, 300. So the other day I was just laughing. I said, okay, you guys are lucky
yes,
because now we can get to 300.
we
In
have
my in
we
my
have
days
we
there
have
was so
we
much
have
competition with.
318. I believe so in year one.
Yes, the
Yes,
current year when I'm lecturing,
yes,
it's about that. So
yes.
you see, so we are 20, and it was a highly competitive class, full of graduates, from the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences,
Okay,
and it was a very competitive class, I tell you.
okay.
You
So
know, and today we are all. Mhm.
yeah,
Yes,
go
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 ahead.
on, go ahead.
Yes, today we are all really doing well, in the States, serving in various capacities. To
Okay,
tell you that indeed that class was a unique class. And
okay,
some of them are even lecturing now, in the department.
okay.
People like Donald Gidwani, people like also Tumajabi, they are all classmates and they are all giving back today. and I'm sure we are proud of them. And then let me make this point very clear also that in my journey in university, I did not just, pass through the university. I allowed the university to pass through me. Because again, many people just go to read and just, grudgingly just keep their way through and manage their way through. No, that is not how you study in university. You must make sure your university passes through you, not just you passing through the university. What do I mean by this? Involve. Like for example, now there is the law society. What are you doing? You have to come on board to make sure that department, becomes, a citadel of learning, an epitome of academia, something that we can be proud of. And of course, the student union government. These are all, avenues that you can build upon your skills. I was there. I served as the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. In the BSU, I serve as the Vice President of Membership. And of course, in the society, I serve as President. That's Rashid. I just like to do things. I like to see myself contributing. So when I came down and I was appointed as the youngest commissioner, it was not a surprise. So some people say, no, this man, we know. Rashid is like that. He likes doing work. He likes being engaged in.
I think we
And that's good because it's are not relevant in terms of impacting your society, then what is the essence of your education? There are many irrelevant academics today. I'm telling you, my brother, they have their degrees, but the question is how much, have they impacted society with that experience and that knowledge that they have acquired? That is the question we should all answer, even as we do and engage in learning. How will I contribute? How will I use my learning to make sure I be a blessing to my nation, to my world?
okay.
That is so important. Today I'm proud in my only two way. I've helped so many young people out there, and I'm still helping them.
Impressive,
Yeah.
impressive indeed. If you want to be part of this program, you can comment live on Facebook as we are seeing your comments. Commissioner Mr. Francis Calon said, Commissioner, happy to hear from you in a while, sir. Such an inspiring story, and we are always longing to learn from you. Continue the good job, sir. So, if you want to be part of this program, you can continue. Mahmoud Ba said, hard work with God at the center of everything will elevate you to where you envision. So, Commissioner, we have so many comments on Facebook as we are live currently on this program. So, now, you've mentioned a few things I would want to dwell on. You said you during your days you also do some extra. You did some extra curricular activities. You were serving the BSU. You served the student union government. You served as president of the law society of Fourah Bay College. So, how did you manage to balance your academic works with these extracurricular activities? Because I've always been wondering how people are doing it. I can quite remember when I was a candidate for the student union president. That was my worst academic performance ever since I started learning in my life. My worst academic performance was when I was asked to be when I became a student union president. So how did you guys manage to pull it off with all the beautiful academic grades, with the beautiful stories that you are telling us, and then you managed to do all these things again? Tell us, is there any magic in
Yes.
it?
No, I agree with you. It comes with a price. And I must make that very clear that if you want to really be out there as a student advocate, engaging in other activities outside your academic work, be prepared because there is a price to pay. So in my case, perhaps what helped me was I am a smart student. So first, you must be smart, a smart student where you can where people can read. Something for like an hour. You should be able to read that in 10 minutes and then gaps it in because you don't have time. And secondly, I think the God factor is key. You know, so long as what you're doing is promoting and making others blessed, your entire life and your entire education is in the hands of God. That's how I see it. So when I come to study, I just pray, Lord, help me. You know how I've been out there supporting and being a blessing to people and humanity. Now I don't have time. I don't even know where I should study. But I trust on you to direct me, even as I start now, and give me wisdom to understand quicker, and sharper and smarter than even my lecturer. So when I write, so it's about also consciously knowing that as you put your all out there, that some invisible hand is going to just support you and see you through, because you are doing something that is well pleasing. You are serving. So in your office as president, let me tell you my story. There was no democratic structure, prior to my presidency on campus. That triggered, and pushed me into something. I was angry. I saw the final year students, they had the so-called library in their hostel. The books were all over scattered. People were just coming in, doing their own thing. There was no system. So I raised up a whole agenda and a whole campaign and said, no, we must go into elections, and we must put our house in order. The library should be taken away from the hostels and brought to a building. The book should be accounted for. There should be a separate account. Can you imagine? The account was being kept by I think they did then also. How they showed I said, no, it should be